Does eBay and other selling platforms purposely screw sellers by promoting your items to buyers that are opposite side of the country than you might be? We're gonna look into it right now. Yeah, welcome back into the channel, Rockstars. And this is something I get emailed about all the time. Does it seem like when you sell something on eBay or even other platforms, possibly like a Shopify or somewhere where it's not a set shipping label, Poshmark doesn't count, and it always seems like if you live in California, your customers are, no lie, every one of them in Florida or New York or New Jersey, and vice versa. I'm here in Florida. All of my orders go to Washington and Oregon and Seattle and California. Who else thinks that that seems like a trend, almost suspiciously like a trend that is no accident? Well, folks, I am here to tell you, after tons of research through all of my eBay orders, through all of my wholesale and all of my Shopify orders, there is no doubt in my mind that platforms, especially eBay, in my opinion, since I can't factually go in their back end and tell you, but it just looks like it from the stats, which I'm going to show you, purposely display your items to people on the other side of the country from you. And if you're somebody who lives in like the middle of the country, Wichita, Kansas, or Kansas City, or St. Louis, or even maybe like a Denver out in the Rockies, you are always going to get sent up into the Northeast, down into the Southeast, or down into the West, Southwest, Northwest. You're never going to get orders in the middle of the country. It's just going to go as far as possible, even though you don't have as far to go as somebody like me from Florida to California. I want to show you just a little sampling of my recent orders through a couple of platforms. And then also stick around in this video because after I show you guys this and in between, I have a little bit of surprises for you, including, back by popular request, my two wrecking crew members, the horses, my mini ponies, who are outside playing right now. Everybody wanted to see them somewhere besides just right behind the camera. So I'll show them to you. All right, as promised, these two out in their natural habitat in their world. Everybody says they don't get to run and play. They're always on camera. No, they do. There they are. Come on, boys. Let's go potty before it rains. It's about to rain. Look, they just want to come in. They're like, yeah, it's going to rain, Dad. Milo, get off the screen. It's going to rain. Can you let us in, please? We don't want to be out here. I hope you guys went to the bathroom. Anyways, there they are. That's Kobe. He's a year and 7 month old St. Bernard. And then there is Milo, who is our 8.5 month old Old English sheepdog. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? And they just want to come in because it is about to get not good around here. You can probably tell from that side of things. All right, now that they're inside, you want to see the camera, buddy? This one is just a gentle giant. He gets very, very excited over a lot of things, though. And this one is just a puppy who just riles everything up and goes nuts over everything. So that's our little horses. Hi, Bubba. Hi, buddy. He likes to drool on everything and do that. Okay, so I just opened up a bunch of orders on my screen from eBay. I'm going to show you those first. And literally, what are the chances, if you're not familiar, I'm from Tampa, Florida, that I don't have a single order, at least in the last weekend to week, from Florida, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, any of these states that are around me, the 4 or 5 states that are close to me. I do have some Louisianas, which is still a 13, 14-hour drive. I have some like Maryland, Virginia orders, which is again like 15 hours. And then I have like Kentucky, which we just took a trip to Nashville and Kentucky, and Louisville, Kentucky is somewhere around 14 to 15 hours because we drove to Nashville in 11 and then we drove to Louisville and it was like another 2.5, 3 hours. So it's around 14 hours into Louisville. And that's the closest. Those are the closest orders, right? Like we have a ton of New Yorks, but New York is probably north of 18 hours from me. That's as far north as you can go, all the way up and down the East Coast, right? I'm just gonna show you guys an absolute sampling of my orders. And so the first one is Santa Fe, New Mexico, right? Santa Fe. And some of these are return customers and some of them are not actually return customers. So it's not like I've just happened to get hooked into some customer who loves me from New Mexico, right? Not really the case. Ignore my sheepdog in the background. So New Mexico, right? Second order. Wisconsin. Wisconsin's halfway across the country from me, right? Nicholsville, Kentucky, probably one of the closest, but again, 14, 15 hours from me. Soderton, PA. PA, I've driven from Pittsburgh. It's a 16-hour, 17-hour drive, right? Chicago, Illinois, that's a 22, 24 hour. That's halfway across the country. Tennessee, Germantown, probably the closest, 11, 12 hours. The Colony in Texas. Texas, all the way over there, just to get into Texas for me, is probably north of about, New Orleans is 14 hours, so you're talking about 16, 18 hours into Texas. Lancaster, Ohio, my neighbor lives not far from there. He drives it a lot. It's 14, 15 hours minimum. St. Paul, Minnesota, again, pretty far. San Diego, California, way across the state is nuts. Round Rock, Texas, again, 18-hour drive. Madison, Wisconsin, across the country. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, one of the closer ones. It's about 13, 14. Lakeland, is it Lakeland, Louisiana? That again, 14-hour, 15-hour. Iowa, across the country. Indiana, pretty far. Mansfield, Ohio, again, 14, 15 hours. Ansonia, Connecticut, that's a solid 18 to 20 hours. That's all the way up the coast. Kendallville, Indiana, not familiar with where it is, but 14 or 15. Minneapolis, the sheepdog is mad because I wouldn't give him the toy. Minneapolis, Washington, Arcadia, that was a repeat. And then Louisville, Kentucky, which I just told you is 14, 15 hours for me. These are all orders that I just pulled. You can see the dates on them. July 11th, July 14th, July 15th, whatever you want to call it. And nothing. Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, none of those. South Carolina, North Carolina, not a single one. One Tennessee order or two, and like 2 Kentucky orders. So it's almost like they're doing it on purpose where they don't give me any of this zone 1, zone 2 coverage. And that's because eBay makes more fees. Remember, it's based on your shipping. Now, I don't charge shipping. It's free shipping. My price is baked in. But it's the way their system is set up, in my opinion, right? I never get orders from Florida. Every once in a blue moon, like they're trying to not be so obvious, I get a Florida order or a Georgia order or something. I never, ever get those orders. Let me show you Shopify, just so I can prove it's not just eBay doing this, that like all the platforms almost have their algorithms programmed this way. And you can let me know in the comments section if you believe in this, or if you agree with me, let me know. Let me show you Shopify. Okay, again, here's my Shopify order, and I've blacked out everything. I don't want to give my customer information or any of that stuff out. Now, I don't sell a lot on Shopify, full transparency. I don't sell a lot of orders, generally only about 3 or 4 orders a week. One a day would be amazing. I do one like every other day because it's high price. It's generally hundreds of dollars per order. So even if I do 4 or 5 orders a week, it's still $1,000. I might do 4 to 6 grand on Shopify in a month. Sometimes I'll do 8 to 10, but generally it's around $4,000 or $5,000. This is a Tempe, Arizona order, right? And this is from, an April 21st order. I think I started this one from 90 days back, May, June, July, yeah. So Tempe, Arizona. And then Wisconsin. Okay, Lebanon, Indiana. Tennessee, one of the closest ones, that's still a 14, 15-hour drive. Howard City, Michigan, far. Deer Park, Texas. This is a recent order. This one was from July 7th, Texas. Hercules, California. Ocean Pines, Maryland. Beaumont, Texas, Bay Village, Ohio. We're not seeing anything closer than like 14 or 15 hours. Dayton, Indiana, Tempe, Arizona again. And then finally, back on May the 4th, June, July, about 2 months ago, I had an order. The order total was around $500 or $600, 4 or 5. It was like $600. And it was from Niceville, Florida, which happens to only be about a 2-hour drive from me, maybe 2.5. That is the only Florida order I have had in 90 days through Shopify. That is 12 weeks, and even if I sell 4 items a week, that's 50 orders. 1 item from Florida, nothing from Georgia, nothing from Mississippi or Alabama, nothing from North and South Carolina, only 1 from Tennessee, none from Kentucky, and the next closest ones are out in Texas and Michigan and Indiana, that like zone 4, zone 5, pushing it all the way out. So my wrap it up point of this video is that I believe, in my opinion, the platforms, eBay, Shopify, and probably other ones that I don't sell on, like an Etsy or a Grailed or Depop or whatever, I don't use those platforms. If it has shipping or that you have an option to charge for it, even if you do the free shipping option, that it is purposely, via their algorithm, showing your items to more buyers in states that are further away from you. Now, some people are gonna say, well, you live in Florida and there's a lot of buyers, a lot of people doing buying in Texas and in California and all that. And I agree, there's a lot of people in California, a lot of people in New York, a lot of people in Michigan and Texas. But there's a lot of people in Florida. We have like what, the second biggest population? California is 1 and is Florida 2. We have 24 million people that live in California. I mean, in Florida. California has like 56 or 60 million or something. Is there any state with more than 24 million people outside of Florida and California? I mean, what? New York's probably got what, 20, 30 million people. They're close to us. I think Manhattan alone has like 10 million, right? So maybe New York has as many. In fact, while I'm talking to you guys, I'm gonna put Top 5 state populations by people. Let's just see what it is. It's definitely, it's got to be California, and it's got to be Florida, and it's got to be, it's Texas actually. Texas has got 31 million people. California's got 39 million. I thought they had more than 39 million. And then Florida's at 23.3, so we're almost at 24. And then New York behind us at 19 and Pennsylvania at 13. So those are your states. I mean, where are all the buyers from Florida? Why is nobody buying my stuff in Florida? Why is nobody buying my stuff in what I would assume is Georgia's large, population? Georgia's got to have a decent population, right? So Georgia's population is 11 million people. Why don't I ever get an order from Georgia? Why do I never get an order from Alabama? Why do I never get these orders from these states that have 11 million and 5 million? And North Carolina, what is their population? 10 million, 11 million. Again, there's 40 million people in the Southeast, 50 million people down here, and I never get an order from any of them. Conspiracy theory, I suppose, whatever you want to call it, it's just my opinion. I think that these platforms purposely do it to us and cost us more money in shipping just because they can, because they're hoping on the people that charge it, they're going to collect a bigger fee. Let me know in the comment section what you think, what you believe, if you agree with this conspiracy theory opinion, or if you think I'm just out of my mind. I'll read the comments. I'll respond to them as always. And also, I'm looking at about another 4 boxes of Pokemon cards that are left over. So if you want them, you better email me right away because I sold a whole bunch over the weekend. Rockstarflipper@gmail.com, boxes of 1,000 and 5,000 Pokemon cards. I'm not sure if I can make a 10,000. I might be too low for that. But 1,000 and 5,000 piece boxes. The 1,000 boxes, I'll do $80, and the 5,000 pieces, I'll do $350. Free shipping anywhere in the lower 48 states. Rockstarflipper@gmail.com. Please, guys, take a second and hit that like button. It means a lot to me. Subscribe to the channel and turn your notification bell on. That way you don't miss a single video that I put out. And until next time, from me and the boys, Milo and Kobe, we will see you next time.